Hey all, welcome back to my channel. So today on the menu we have this beautiful looking spaghetti squash. All right, let's get started. Today's dinner is going to take a little bit extra time on that prepping and chopping up all those veggies, but that's really all it takes. Once everything's chopped up, we just bake it and serve it, and this lasted me about 2 to 3 meals. All right, let's get started by cutting that spaghetti squash in half. Now, be very careful because that guy can roll around on you, and you do not want to cut yourself. All right, once you have that cut in half, you do want to scoop out all the seeds and innards. Those just go right into the trash. There's really not much you can do, or your compost. I find using a melon baller is actually easier than a spoon because it has had that little sharper edge on it. Okay, so now we're just going to plop those upside down, and that's all it takes to bake them. All right, squash is prepped, so now let's move on over to our tomatoes. I've done this both ways. I've peeled them, I've not peeled them. I personally like to peel the tomatoes. I think it makes for a richer sauce. This isn't too hard to do. You just want to do little scores on the top like I did on those small ones. Cut the vine out on the big one, and then we're going to just boil some distilled water and let those guys soak for, a couple minutes. I just let them soak while I'm chopping up the rest of the veggies for the sauce. Okay, we're going to move these guys aside and get chopping on the rest of our veggies. Now, just a reminder, you do not need to peel your tomatoes. You can chop those whole, but I do like mine peeled. Okay, I use half an onion for this sauce. Now, it does seem like a lot of onion for the amount of tomatoes, but I enjoy that. If onion isn't your most favorite, I'd maybe reduce it down to a quarter of an onion. All right, and we're going to put some garlic here. I went with 3 cloves, but honestly, it's really up to your taste. If you like it super garlicky, add some more. If not so much, maybe just add 1 clove. Now, I would love to add some basil to my sauce. Unfortunately, that is not an approved Gerson Therapy herb. So today's herbs are parsley and a little bit of thyme. All right, let's get the skins peeled on those tomatoes. Now, do be careful when taking them out of that water because it is still pretty warm and the tomatoes themselves are warm. They've been sitting in there for about 10 minutes, so that's plenty enough time to get those skins to slide right off. And if all the skins don't come off, don't worry about it. Just chop it up. It will all work out great. Now, I'm going to give these guys a medium rough chop. It's going to cook down into a sauce, so don't worry too much about the size. All right, let's just move everything here on the cutting board into our oven-safe dish. You can really use anything for baking. I'd say the most important part is for anyone on the Gerson Therapy, you do want to be mindful of your cookware and make sure it is on the approved list. All right, just 2 more things I'm going to put in my sauce. I like to add in some powdered onion and some powdered garlic. This isn't required. We already do have this in the sauce, but I do find that the powdered onion and garlic adds a unique taste to the marinara, which I do enjoy. Okay, we are pretty much done. Squash is cut, sauce is chopped. Now it's just move it on over to the oven. I'm going to bake these guys at 365 for an hour. Oops, and I almost forgot my baked potato. Stick that guy in there too, so you do have your potato with dinner. All right, everything's been cooking for about 40 minutes here. We're going to check on the sauce, give it a little stir. You see that it is turning into a lovely little marinara sauce. It's kind of on the chunky side, but that's okay. Let's check on these spaghetti squash, and that looks like it's done. I like mine to have a little bit of bite, so I'm going to pull these out now that it's been 40 minutes and let them sit on the countertop and rest. You see it's kind of pulling away nice and neat, but it's not mushy. My preferred way of cooking it. For that last 20 minutes on the sauce, I did keep the lid off to help reduce any of the extra liquid, give everything that final cook, and oh my goodness, doesn't that look lovely? It almost looks like a salsa, but no, it's a marinara for that beautiful spaghetti squash. All right, let's get dinner plated. We're gonna pair the spaghetti squash with a peppery arugula salad. I think it goes perfect together. You have that peppery, bittery bite from the arugula and the sweetness from the spaghetti squash. Dressing is going to be super easy, just a squeeze of lemon and some flax oil. Now, do remember to stay within your allotted amount of flax oil per day. Okay, let's look at this beautifully cooked spaghetti squash. Look at that. It just peels away lovely into those little spaghetti-y, squashy stringies. I like my spaghetti squash to have a little bit of crunchiness to it. I'm not a super fan of the mushy squash, but to each its own. If you like it softer, cook it a little longer. All right, guys, let's get the rest of this dinner plated. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and thank you for watching. Enjoy!